الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله. أشهد أن محمدًا رسول الله. أشهد أن محمدًا رسول الله. حي على الصلاة. حي على الصلاة. حي على الفلاح. حي على الفلاح. الله أكبر الله أكبر. لا إله إلا الله.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My dear sisters and brothers, the collections will now be made and our dedicated volunteers will be coming around to make the collection, and we ask that you contribute generously to the house of Allah, and may Allah bless you for all your continued contributions. First and foremost, while they're making the collections, we send praise and thanks to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, for He has created us. It is from Him we came, and it is to Him we shall return. And we ask Him to send peace and blessings on the Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, upon his family members, and to all believers wherever they are. My dear brothers and sisters, again, we want to welcome each and every one of you to our masjid here today for our Jummah Salat. And we also want to welcome those of you who are online. For if you would like to make a contribution, for those of you who are online, there will be a QR code that comes up on your screen. You can click on that QR code to make a donation, or you can go to our website at www.taric, T-A-R-I-C. There is a donation button. You click on the button, and it will give you various options as to how you can donate to the house of Allah. And may Allah bless each and every one of you for your donations. Today, we don't have a lot of announcements, but we want to remind you or advise you that we are planning a picnic on site. This is a TARIC picnic. The date that is proposed for that is August 25th. It's a Sunday, and it will be held on site as it has been held here for the past few years. So we want you to keep that date in mind. We have calendars for the new Islamic year, 1446 AH, and they're available upstairs in the office. The cost of it is $3 per calendar. So you can get your calendars upstairs in the office. We want to just say to you that we had a dinner here last Saturday for Furqan Projects Canada. These are the people who print the Clear Quran. While we did have quite a bit of a response, we are still collecting any donations that any one of you would like to make towards Furqan Projects. They use this money for printing the Quran for free distribution as dawah. Since October 7th, with the war in Gaza, there has been a great, great demand for these Qurans. And many people have actually converted to Islam with the dawah work that is being done by Furqan Projects worldwide and other people. So if you would still like to donate, you can do that here. You can see myself, Brother Qasim, or come to the office and see Brother Ahmad as well. If you're making your donations either on check or otherwise, make sure you put it that's for Furqan Project. And if you would like to donate to Gaza, where we're still looking at the problems that they're having, I'm getting a lot of emails, people, family who need help. Please, if you want to donate to Gaza for the relief efforts there, you can still do that here, and we will get that money transferred to those on the grounds in Gaza, inshallah. Today, our Khatib is our dear Sheikh Dr. Abdullah Hakim. We welcome him here again, and we now ask him to come forward and lead us in the Jummah Khutbah and Salat, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله.
الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله
Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, wal aqibati lil muttaqeen, wa la udwana illa ala dhalimeen. Wa ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wahdahu la sharika lah, wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluh sallallahu alayhi wa ala alihi wa ashabihi wa man da'a bi da'watihi wa istanna bi sunnati ila yawm ad-din wa sallam tasliman kathira. Amma ba'd. فأوصيكم ونفسي بتقوى الله عز وجل والسمع والطاعة. ويقول الحق سبحانه: أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون. All praise are due to Allah, Lord of the worlds, and surely the best reward is for those who have taqwa. And surely there is no animosity except for the oppressor. And I bear witness that Allah is one and has no partners, and that Muhammad, the son of Abdullah, is his servant, his last messenger. May Allah always constantly send peace and blessings to Muhammad, to his family, his companions, and all those who call to his way and establish his sunnah to the day of judgment. As to what follows, I remind myself and you of the critical importance of taqwallah, the consciousness of Allah. That no matter what happens, no matter what are the circumstances, we fear the Creator more than anything, and we hope in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And we believe that ultimately the will of Allah will override everything that we are seeing in this dunya today. And Allah has informed us in His glorious book, O you who believe, fear Allah in the way He should be feared, and do not die except as Muslims. O you who believe, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has revealed this book in a way that would give us light and guidance and the bottom line all the way to the day of judgment. And the bottom line today is not a political one. The bottom line today is not an economic. The bottom line today is a battle for the hearts. It is an ancient struggle between good and evil. It has played itself out in many parts of the world in many generations. As one of the scholars in that battled zone clearly stated, that the battle today is not based upon aradi wa hudud. It is not based upon land and limits, but it is based upon aqidah wa wujud. It is based upon belief and the very existence of the Muslim world. And so this is a critical moment that has again hit our ummah. It has happened to us over the centuries. We were able to come out of a terrible apostate rebellion in the time of the companions of the Prophet ﷺ. We were able to come out of a decaying fitna in the body of Islam. We were able to come out of the attack of the Mongol nation, devastating our cities, and then the Crusaders, and then the colonial hordes that came into the Muslim world. And now we are faced with a neo-colonial, the end of the colonial period, and it is like a beast that is drowning. And when the beast is drowning, it strikes out in its last moments in a fearsome way. And so we're at a crossroads. In one direction is imminent destruction. There is a well-orchestrated plan to destroy the Muslim world, to put out the light of Allah. But in the other direction, there are amazing opportunities. There is light at the end of the road. In terms of the destruction, we are witnessing, and the world like never before in human history, genocide, displacement, murder, disregard for all rules. What is happening in Palestine, it's not the amount of people who are dying, because we have died in large numbers. It is not the brutality, but it is the fact that we are watching it as a world as it happens. This has never happened before. And so this is a serious question. This is a test. It's imtihan. It's a test upon humanity, but especially a test upon the Muslim world. In terms of this destruction, not only are we witnessing in Gaza and in Palestine, but also the issue of failed states, a well-orchestrated plan of failed states, where the people within the country are fighting each other and don't fully know why they are fighting. Only a few people on the top, the masses in a state of confusion. And so we see it spread from country to country. It is not by chance, it is by design. What happened in Libya is not by chance. What happened in the Sudan, where we are witnessing terrible famine and a confusion, it is the concept of the failed state. The great Syrian people now spread around the world. Pakistan itself is under the gun right now. And the object of the evil one, wal-iyadhu billah, is to make a type of tashwish, a type of confusion, a fitna, that people will fall in the fitna and they themselves will be their own enemy. In terms of the light that is there, despite what is happening, despite what you see in the media, the Muslim world is growing. Iman is spreading. There are more Muslims now in the world than ever before. In every part of the world, all levels of society are turning to Islam. We have one of the youngest nations in the world. The majority of Muslims are under 30 years old. We have some of the richest families. We have hundreds and thousands, if not millions of men standing at arms. They're standing at arms. They're ready. We have strategic positions, strategic waterways, strategic mountains, strategic mineral deposits. And so it is right at the crossroads. Which direction will we go in? In 1945, The United States dropped a nuclear bomb on Hiroshima in Japan. And instantly, when the bomb hit, 80,000 people died immediately. They then dropped it on Nagasaki. 40,000 people died immediately. And then over the years, thousands, if not millions, were impacted by this nuclear weapon. But by 1969, 24 years later, after the bomb, after the trauma, after the confusion, the Japanese people bounced back and became a world economic power. What is it that the Japanese people had? What was the motivation? How was it possible for them to repair themselves? And we now are feeling the bombs, feeling the confusion. Our potential is there. And our solution is not just a political one, it is a divine one that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given to us, as He has given to our nations in the past, a clear path. A clear path. The Prophet ﷺ said clearly, "Taraktukum ala al-mahajjatil bayda, layluha kan-nahariha, la yazighu anha illa halik." I have left you on a clear path. Its night is like its day. And the only one who will go away will be a person who is destined to be destroyed. Allah told us very clearly in His glorious book, "Inna Allah la yughayyiru ma biqawmin hatta yughayyiru ma bi anfusihim." Allah will not change the condition of a people until they change that which is in themselves. No change. And so the internal change has to come about. And we are so tested right now, right down to each man, woman, each family. We have to now think of the very concepts that we have of a Muslim. Why am I a Muslim? What am I teaching my children? You're a Muslim. Does that mean you eat halal food? Does that mean you wear a hijab, a topi, a kufi? You go to Eid Salat? Why are you a Muslim? What is the concept, the very idea of Islam in our minds needs a great reset. We need to reset ourselves. And this is one of the best times. We are still in Muharram, beginning of the year. People think it's a new year, new change. Reset has to come about. After many years in the field, decades in the Muslim community, seeing our conditions, realizing the needs that the community has, there are certain key points that we need to focus on right now to reset ourselves. And if we, the older generation, cannot do this, then we need to teach our children, help our children to reset themselves so that they can take over and turn this Muslim world from a large mass of people with no weight, ghutha as-sayl, from a large mass into a dynamic ummah. How can we go through this change? Number one, we need to seek nearness to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, not based upon ideology, not based upon our organization. Our striving to be Muslim can no longer be based only on organizations. We need organization. We need movement. We need unity. But when the unity comes in between uniting with our brothers and sisters, it has become an obstacle. And one of the great scholars of Islam, Shaykh al-Islam Ibn Taymiyyah, rahimahullah, in one of his last sermons, he mentioned a disease, a mental disease, hizbiyah. This is organizational fanaticism. Organizational fanaticism, where two people can be Muslim, but one looks at the other as though he's an enemy. This is organizational fanaticism. If our main goal is to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and we are different than our brother or sister, we will make dua for them. We will unite, even if there are some things that are different. Number two, a return to authentic sources, to the authentic sunnah. But in returning to the original Islam based upon the wahi, the Arabic text, and based upon these first generations, it has to be inclusion. Inclusion. All of the imams, all of the great teachers, even if we have some differences, all of those, especially those in the Ahl Sunnah wal Jama'ah. We have millions and thousands of people, but it is extremism. It is extremism that will divide us. Number three, a focus on character, not just rituals. We have taught our children ibadat, that how to worship, how to pray, how to fast, and that is important. But the ritual needs to lead to character change. Why are you making salat? You just go up and down. Why? Allah tells us, Inna salata tanha anil fahsha'i wal munkar. That prayer will prohibit you from evil and corruption. The fasting is la'allakum tattaqun, so you'll have taqwa, not just starvation of the body. So the focus needs to be on character, and the Prophet ﷺ has told us in authentic hadith in al-Muwatta of Imam Malik, bu'ithtu li utammima husnul akhlaq, verily I have been sent to complete the best in character. That's the basis of Islam. It's not just the fact that you pray or you do the rituals, but this transforms you. So in your interactions with other Muslims and other people, there is a transformation in your life. Number four, building strong, healthy, empowered families. The families have to be constructed, and that is something all of us can do. And the emphasis in the family needs to be on Muslim women. That our families are empowered. Their health is empowered. Their life is empowered. Skills development. All of our family members learn skills, learn trades, learn how to survive. Can our young people survive without a cell phone? Can you survive without metro? Skills development training. We are going toward Qiyamah, and it will be critical for the Ummah. Number five, an emphasis on the youth. Young people, they are the majority of the Muslims. They are the future. But how many of our programs are structured around their needs and their wants, and also based upon their opinions? So there needs to be in every executive committee, board of directors, Majlis and Shura, there needs to be some young people. They have a different way of looking at the world. And the Prophet ﷺ had the young people around him, Abdullah ibn Mas'ud, ibn Abbas, ibn Umar. He had young people around him, and they were able to seamlessly take over the leadership of Islam. Number six, in the reset, the great reset that we all need to go through individually, family, community, and our great nation. That point number six is shura, mutual consultation, communications. We don't talk to each other enough. In our families, husband, wife, talk to each other. Parents and children, talk to each other. In the community, have town hall meetings. Listen to the jama'ah. Majlis al-Shura, we need a strong Majlis al-Shura for the whole Muslim Ummah here and in other parts of the world. Shura is critical because when the leaders do not talk to the people, it causes confusion. And in the Arab Spring, which turned into a confusion, you would hear the people marching in the Arab world shouting, "Al-Shab yurid isqat al-nizam." The people want the system to come down. Why? Because the government, they wouldn't listen to the people. They didn't care about the people. So Shura is critical for us. Number 7, empower new Muslims. This is something that many of us don't think about. But those who are coming into Islam or who have embraced and they're there need to be empowered. We need to spend our wealth on the empowerment of new Muslims because it is new blood that has fired up the Muslim world over the years. Sultan Salah ad-Din al-Ayyubi rahimahullah was not an Arab. He was not from Quraysh, he was Kurdish. Sultan Muhammad al-Fatih of the great Ottoman Empire, he was not an Arab, he was Turkish. New blood. We are in need, this ummah is in need of new blood, a transfusion. We are needed in the body of Islam. Number 8, to confront the demons of tribalism and racism. And this is not easy because it has been pounded into our minds, racial differences, tribal differences, till you start to judge other people by how they look and not by their taqwa. This has to stop. And the Prophet ﷺ has described it as a filthy thing. This qawmiyah, this qabaliyah, it's a filthy thing. And it has to stop. If we are one ummah, nobody can stop us in this world. But if we are tribes, then we will continue to have failed states. Failed states. Number 9, operational unity. That we unite with each other. There may be some differences, but we unite in a strategic way to know the strength and weakness of each other. That is what the companions of the Prophet ﷺ did. The companions, the Sahaba, were not all the same. Abdullah ibn Mas'ud, radiallahu anhu, was the master of the Quran, a small Yemeni man. Khalid ibn Walid was a tall warrior. When the time came for Salat, Ibn Mas'ud would lead because he is the master of the Quran. And Khalid, the tall warrior, would stand in back of him and follow him as his leader. So leading the Salat was not based upon strength. It was based upon suitability, ability. That's operational unity. But when the enemies of Allah came on the scene, the people would look and say, "Where is Khalid?" Put him in the front. That's operational unity. Next, to provide Islamic solutions to the real issues of today. Our Islam has to come out of these masjids. The younger generation, it is a great challenge and a great blessing to take Islam to the world. And that means not just debating religion, but it means that Islam would be part of the discourse outside in society. What is the Islamic solution for the Palestine genocide? Not United Nations. That's not going to happen. What is the Islamic solution for the environmental crisis? What is the Islamic solution for wealth inequality? What is the Islamic solution for racism? The world needs to know our solution for racism. What is the Islamic solution for the oppression of women? What is the Islamic solution for the proper use of technology? How can you use technology and fear Allah? What is the Islamic solution for power when a person gains power? How can they continue to serve the people through submission to Allah? This is a great test. And this will not be easy, but providing these solutions now is dawah. This is the real dawah today. When we do what we do, when we bring Islam out, providing solutions, we do it for Allah. But it's not going to be easy. You will go to the bank, Mr. Abdul, he goes to the bank and the teller says, Mr. Abdul, do you want interest? He said no. And she will feel or maybe say, you're strange. The people in Canada and the West, when the heat comes, they take off their clothes. But Muslims, we put on our clothes. And they look at us and say, you people are strange. But I give you glad tidings that the Prophet ﷺ has told us, إِنَّ الْإِسْلَامَ بَدَأَ غَرِيبًا وَسَيَعُودُ غَرِيبًا فَطُوبَى لِلْغُرَبَى. Verily, Islam began strange, and it will return to being strange. So glad tidings to the strangers. And they asked him, وَمَا الْغُرَبَى? Who are these strangers? And he told them, الَّذِينَ يُصْلِحُونَ عِنْدَ فَسَادَ النَّاسِ. It is those who repair, Islah. They repair themselves. They repair society when the people have become corrupted. And Sadaqa Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, that time is upon us. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala enable us to be of the true ghuraba. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala enable us to take the filth of tribalism out of our hearts. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala enable us to stand up for this deen no matter what is the cost. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have mercy on the children of the Ummah of Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. May Allah protect the dignity of the women of the Ummah of Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. May Allah raise up men, true Muslim men in this Ummah today and true Muslim leaders. And may Allah give us all the ability that our last word would be kalima la ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Aqulu qawli hadha wa astaghfirullah li wa lakum wa li sa'iri muslimina min kulli dhanbin istaghfiru innahu huwa ghafurur rahim. Alhamdulillah, al-wahid al-ahad, al-farad al-samad, alladhi lam yalid wa lam yulad, wa lam yakul lahu kufuwan ahad. Wa usalli wa usallam ala sayyid al-awwaleen wal-akhirin, nabiyyina Muhammadan, wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'een, wa ba'd. فيا عباد الله اتقوا الله حيثما كنتم ويقول الحق سبحانه مخبرا وآمرا إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما اللهم صل وسلم على عبدك ورسولك محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين وارض الله عن الخلفاء الراشدين أبو بكر عمر عثمان وعلي وعنا برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين الحمد لله الذي هدانا لهذا وما كنا لنهتدي لولا أن هدانا الله ربنا لا تزغ قلوبنا بعد إذ هديتنا وهب لنا من لدنك رحمة إنك أنت الوهاب ربنا إنا ظلمنا أنفسنا وإن لم تغفر لنا وترحمنا لنكونن من الخاسرين اللهم اصرف عنا البلاء والوباء ما ظهر منها وما بطن اللهم من أرادنا بسوء فاشغله في نفسي واجعل كيده في نحري واجعل تدبيره تدميره برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. O Allah, whoever wants to harm us and our lands, then keep them busy with their own troubles and return their plots to their own necks and make their plans the cause of their own destruction. Ya Dhal Jalali wal Ikram. Allahumma alayka bis-sahayanat al-ghasibin fa-innahum la yu'jizunak. Allahumma shattid shamlahum وفرق جمعهم وخالف بين قلوبهم وفرق كلمتهم واجعل بأسهم بينهم يا أرحم الراحمين. اللهم لا تدع لنا ذنبا إلا غفرته ولا هما إلا فرجته ولا دينا إلا قضيته ولا مريدا إلا شفيته ولا ميتا إلا رحمته ولا حاجة من حوائج الدنيا إلا قضيتها يا أرحم الراحمين. لا إله إلا أنت سبحانك إنا كنا من الظالمين. عباد الله يرحمكم الله، إن الله يأمر بالعدل والإحسان وإيتاء ذي القربى وينهى عن الفحشاء والمنكر والبغي يعظكم لعلكم تذكرون. قوموا إلى صلاتكم يرحمكم الله.